everybody, it's Miranda here from Miranda Has Plans, and I wanted to do a Q&A video for you, and I wanted to answer some of your questions. The first question I got is from Beth. She asked, how did you get into art and planning? As far, you're hearing my teenage kid over there who's eating M&Ms and not really realizing how loud he is. Got into art, I don't know, I've always been into art. I was big into drawing and things when I was a kid. I would find pictures like in the coupon flyers and the funnies and whatever I wanted, and I would just draw, or I would just draw little goofy cartoons. Planning is a little bit bigger story. I got into planning for two reasons. The first one had to do with the fact that my father had committed suicide, and we had a really bad relationship, and it threw me for a loop when he passed away, and I didn't know how to handle it because there was a lot of hard feelings and unresolved issues there, and it affected me way more than I thought that it would. And I just went into a big depression, and I needed to feel like I had some kind of control over my life. Couple that with the fact that I have a couple of autoimmune disorders and a chronic illness. I have fibromyalgia, which, like a lot of people before this, I thought was just an issue with pain, and it's a lot more than that, and it has affected my mobility the most. I have to walk around with a rollator. I have a wheelchair. I'm working on getting a mobility scooter because it causes muscle weakness, and I can't stand for longer than, say, 5 minutes. Some days I can stand longer. I can't walk around without assistance in any way. And there are days when I suffer from what they call fibro fog, which is when my brain just doesn't do what it's supposed to. It affects my short-term memory. There are days when you can have a conversation with me in the morning, and by the evening I may not even remember having spoken to you, much less what we talked about. So I got into planning, first of all, to feel like I had a little bit of control over my life, but also to help me fill the gaps of my memory, because I knew if I wrote it down in my planner, I wasn't going to forget it, because I have this physical thing that I can go back and reference to help me remember things like doctor's visits or vet appointments, or, you know, even something big that happened that day. I can track it and pay attention to it. And one of the big things that I really liked about planning was I could add a section for gratitude, because for me, adjusting to having all these illnesses and health problems and the way they've affected my life, like I'm not allowed to drive anymore because I can't control my legs. Sometimes they just don't do what I tell them to do. And my hands can get like that too. So, you know, it helps me to remember what it is that I need to be thankful for in my life, because there's so much that can really, really get me down. So that's how I got started with it. Teresa wanted to know, what medium do you use for your artwork? When I do just art, well, kind of like the one side of the page that I do for my planner, I do other things, and I have an Etsy shop that I've just started because people started to get interested in my artwork, and a lot of what I do is considered mixed media. I take like papers that I have, like old scrapbook paper, and I use things like this Tim Holtz collage medium, and glue little things down, and then I use paint and all sorts of things and create art with it. One of the things that I created is this angel. I have her as with white skin and with brown skin, and I have other art projects I'm going to be putting up for sale, but I have to see, because not everybody likes the same kind of art that I like. So that's what I do. I use mixed media, which is I use collage medium. I can use napkins, I use scrapbook paper, I use markers, I use highlighters and Posca pens and paints. Usually I have some apple barrel paint. Most of the paint that I have is the Dylusions brand. I use markers. I use all sorts of things. Stickers, stencils, and then whatever drawing or painting I want to use on top. And sometimes I do them in an art journal, and sometimes I do them on little, I think it's like 8 by, I don't think it's quite 8 by 10 because they're almost square. But I use canvas to make them. I've used old pictures, like when we bought our house, we had these pictures the lady had hung in the bathroom, and they were like really dark red and black and gold and didn't match anything. And I didn't really care for them, but I saved them because I could still use the canvas. So I just painted over it. I think I used my gesso. I painted over it and then made a drawing on it and made a painting to hang in the house. So I'm kind of big into using whatever it is that I have around me. I like using up the stuff that I have. I don't really care for going out and buying new things to create art with. It kind of makes me happy to upcycle or recycle the things that I have around me and make art out of them. Teresa and Carrie both want to know, where do I get my inspiration? And that's not an easy answer to come up with, because I think I get my inspiration from any old thing that I see. Like I said, sometimes it's things I see online, sometimes it's things I see in the coupon flyers, sometimes it's things I see in the comics, sometimes it's from like Renaissance art that I like. Basically, it's any old thing that I see that I come across and go, oh, I like that. I'll save it or take a picture of it and save it in the gallery of my phone. And when I'm feeling like I need to paint or do anything, I go to the picture gallery and go, oh yeah, that's right, I like that. Let's see what I can do with this. I use lots of pictures as reference. It doesn't just pop out of my head because I'm not that kind of artist. I have to have something to look at. Not necessarily copy, but something to use as a reference. Like I have these things here. Hold on. Like if I need to draw a hand, I have little wooden models like this to look at for me to draw hands with. I don't have it here, but I also have like a full body mannequin to do it with. But I need to see things, and those things provide me with the inspiration I need to do it. Kelly asked, how do I turn what's in my imagination, or how do I turn what's in my imagination into art? I don't know. It's whatever I feel like that day. Like some days I don't want to use collage. Some days I just want to draw and then paint it. Some days I want to do collage. Some days I only want to do pencil drawing. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. And it also depends on what kind of style I want to do, because while I don't do a lot of realistic drawing, I can do realistic drawing. but it's very time consuming, and I have to be in the mood for that, because I'm somebody who, when I start a project, I really don't want to quit doing that project until it's done. And sometimes realistic drawing is not conducive to being done quickly. If you do it too quickly, it winds up looking like garbage, and you know, who wants that? I am looking into trying to do 2 videos a week. I don't know how that's going to work because I plan for 1 week. But if you want to see me work in my daily art journal, because I also do that. I do little art pages, like a day-by-day kind of thing. This one was when I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia and all the stuff I had to go through with it. But then I have stuff like just memories that I want to catch, like my niece's first communion, and when a friend of mine in, is it Holland? No, Sweden. She was in Sweden. I don't want to give her address out, but she sent me a really cute handmade card. And this was from when my husband and I went away to a cabin. So I kind of use memories and art and use them also to plan. I try to keep track of things that are going on in my life that I want to, you know, someday my kids or my grandkids might say, hey, I want to know about this. So I create little artistic pages for them to see and lift the flaps and read things. Like I have little secret pockets with little cards and whatnot, and kind of interactive. I use collage sheets from Dyan Reaveley sometimes. Do all kinds of stuff. I really enjoy doing it. Like this is what I'm doing, because in my day job I'm a writer and I spend a lot of time trying to create. My big thing is people always ask me, like, oh my gosh, how great is it for you to be creative? Like, what's that like? And I don't know. It's just the way that I am. You know, when somebody comes to me and says, I'm not creative at all, I don't understand those people. How are you not creative? I don't get that. But anyway, that's a little bit about me. Like I said, if you like this, click the subscribe, click the bell, drop a comment down below, give me a thumbs up if you want. Follow me on my Instagram at mirandahasplans. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. If you have any video ideas you want to see, let me know. And if it's possible, I'll do it. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.